I feel like it's been ages since I painted an actual painting. In the past few weeks, I've been working on an art haul, swatching my art materials, working on creating my ultimate watercolor travel palette, which you might have seen the video about that already. And then I went on vacation. My plan at first was to finish that palette before I went on vacation because I was planning on doing lots of hikes. So I wanted to do some plein air painting. But I did not have time to finish that video. I've been feeling like I need to paint an actual painting because it's been so long. While I was on vacation, I was planning on doing plein air paintings, but it was so cold outside and it was rainy a lot of the days that we were out. So I did one painting in the hotel room because I was waiting for something. So I had about like half an hour to 45 minutes. So I did one painting based on a picture that I took. My goal for this painting was to be as loose as I could, and I think I did a pretty good job at it. So I liked this painting a lot, and I wrote Squamish, BC, because that's where the picture comes from. So I think this is what I'll do for the other two paintings that I have in this sketchbook. I'll write where the image comes from, because maybe after like a year when I finish this sketchbook, I won't remember exactly where all of these paintings were made. I would like it to act as like a diary, a travel diary or something like that. So it's full of memories. But now I want to paint, and I've started painting a while ago. If you watch my videos, you might have seen it already. It's this painting, and I really want to finish it. I feel like I'm so close. I want to decide what I'm adding because I feel like it's still a bit too simple. I want it to stay simple though. I want to have it framed in a funky frame. I love this experience so much, and I want to paint another one as soon as possible. So much fun. I love painting this big. Now this is me having a look at the painting from afar. This is something I like to do before deciding on what to do next, especially when it's a big painting like this. I find that it's hard to have a big picture if you're standing too close to it. So that's why I put it the furthest away that I can, and then I make my decisions from there. I decided I would try to lift some of this color because one thing that was bothering me was that this far away bush was the same color as this grass. So I want to lighten it and then maybe add a bit of blue in it. So I have a bunch of paint left on this palette. So I'm gonna try to use this as much as I can. And I don't mind creating a bit of texture in this bush. Hi guys, I finished this painting, so I'm very happy about it. I added some details, a little bit of marks here and there, and I think that it ties the piece together. Now what I want is put it in a frame. So I talked to somebody on Instagram. That person makes frames, but they're very colorful, they're very pretty. Some of them even have texture and they always match the artwork. So I find that the frames in itself is like a piece of art. So I think that together it would be finished. I think it's missing the frame. And when I created this painting, I had this idea in mind that it would have a frame that matches the artwork. So I'm gonna wait for the response, see how much it costs, of course, and hopefully we will have a colorful frame. And I think what I want to do is create a bunch more of this style and always accompany them with a colorful frame, and when I sell them, they're gonna go together. So that's it. That's the first news. Second news is I got a new special ring. This weekend I went on a little getaway with my boyfriend. We did a hike, and on top of the mountain he proposed. So I'm very happy about it. It doesn't really change anything in our relationship, as I don't think it should, because I mean, we've been together for a long time, for many years. So it's just like commitment to continue staying together and having a big party. So this is going to happen maybe in 2 years. This is the infinity ring, I think. I don't know much about this. So this is not like the engagement ring. That ring I already have because my mom gave me her, so I already had one. So I have this one now, which will be the wedding ring, but I'm going to wear both of them as soon as possible. The engagement ring needs to be repaired because it's old. So if I don't want to lose the stones, it has to be repaired. So when it's back from the shop, I'm gonna wear both of them and it's gonna be super pretty. So that's it, just in case you noticed something in the last clip and you were curious, that's the story. Very cute, very fun. And then another thing that's super exciting, I have a mini art haul for you. These are things that I got while on vacation. So I went to British Columbia for a week. And you know me, I like to walk around and go visit some art shops here and there, and I always seem to find something that I need. Let me show you quickly what I got. I got just a couple of things, but we're still going to swatch them and have a little bit of fun with them. First, I got, this is Gram Artist Gouache in Titanium White. This is something that I wanted to put in my watercolor travel palette. I want to have one pen that is full of gouache because it's useful for details and highlights and stuff like that. So I wanted gouache, not acrylic gouache, of course, because acrylic gouache does not reactivate, but gouache does. So that's what I was looking for. And my art store doesn't have artist gouache. They only have like kids gouache, which is what I was using before, but I want this palette to be professional. So that's why I got this. I've tried it once and I really like it, and I've tested it. I put it in a palette and then I tried to reactivate it. It went really well. So I think it's gonna be perfect in a pan. Then I got some Caran Neocolor 2. These are wax pastels that are water soluble. So they're pretty good to add some details. They're fun to draw with and they're light fast. They're really good quality. I like them a lot. Oh, I have another one right here. I got these 5. I already had 2 that I liked very much. I had these 2 before. Dark olive, and this one is in burnt sienna. So I like them very much, but it's 2 colors that are pretty limiting. So I wanted to get at least a couple of colors just to have a bigger range. So I got a yellow, a red, and a blue. The yellow is Well, in fact, it's Chinese green, so it's not really yellow. It looks like it's yellow, but I'm gonna have to swatch it. The red is Scarlet. The blue is Indigo blue. And then I have two earth tones. I have Ochre and I have Vandyke brown. So we're gonna swatch those. I've tried them a little bit when I did this painting right here. So I used a mix of these and watercolor. And the last thing that I got is, okay, I've been using these for a bit now. So I have these ends, I'm not sure what they're called, for dip pens, but I didn't have anything to put them in, so I just duct taped them to pencils that I had. When I went to a pen shop, I saw these. They had a couple of these brush pen. I think that's what they're called, I'm not sure. So, and what you do, I got another nib. It was really fine and I like to use them to create really fine lines. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, it was just like $2 or something. So I got it. So what you do is you take the nib and you just put it in the metal part that's inside the pen. That's it. Here we go. So that's it. That's the tiny haul that I did. I think we should swatch them now. So let's start with Chinese green. So I think I'm just gonna like, yeah, do this. This is such a pretty color. I really like this kind of yellow. A bit more on the green side. I would say it's more yellow than green. Oh man, it broke. Well, I can still use it. It's just you don't expect new art supplies to break. It's not my first Neocolor, and they have never broken like this before, so I guess it's just maybe it fell in the transport or it fell at some point in its life and it broke. Ah, too bad. Well, it is what it is, huh? So yeah, I'm going to do a swatch like this first and then I'm going to add some water because I feel like just drawing for now. So ochre is a very pretty color. I feel like it's kind of a staple that you would need if you want to have like a complete color set, which is what I'm looking for. I don't really need to have 1,000 colors, but I at least wanted to have the basic ones so I could just paint a bigger range. So we have this Scarlet. It's a very pretty red, a bit on the warm side, so that's really good. Now let's do Indigo blue. Indigo blue is a color that I already used when I did my landscape on vacation. I used it to create the mountains and to add some shadows, so it's pretty pretty. Very useful blue. It's not a color that I have at all. Oh my god. I was planning maybe on breaking this one too. Did not happen. Okay, and Vandyke brown, which is also a color that I used in my landscape. I really like their texture. They're so buttery, so smooth. Very nice to use. So now we are going to add a bit of water, see how they behave. So let's start with Chinese green. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Love it. Now let's do ochre. Yeah, I feel like these pencils would be very useful in vacation while traveling because they're very compact. You don't need a lot of water. Well, you don't need to bring water in your luggage. You can just grab some on site. And they are very versatile because you don't need to use them with water. So you can get this beautiful pencil, like wax pencil texture. But if you want to, you can add some water and use them a bit like watercolors. And you can also do a mix of both. So I feel like it's very versatile. You only bring these pencils and you get a big range of textures and kind of mediums that you could use in your artwork. Sorry if my speech is a bit choppy. Thinking and talking and painting. Yeah, sorry, it's really hard. Talking and painting at the same time is really hard. What a beautiful color. I feel like this indigo blue is so pretty when you add a bit of water in it, because you can see the purple tone a little bit come out, which is very pretty. Usually I'm not really into purples. I've said it many times before, but for this one, I love it. And Vandyke brown. It's gonna be a very useful colors for all of my landscapes. Yeah. And I thought that I could also just swatch the two that I already had before, because these are all the new colors that I have, so might as well swatch them also, so we can have like a place where I swatched all of them in my swatch book. So let's do, we have olive here, and oh, sorry about my creaky chair, and then we're going to have burnt sienna. So let's do olive, which is a very pretty green. At first I only bought these two because I just wanted to try them out. I had heard a lot about them in YouTube videos, so I thought it could be fun to use. And I bought these two colors because these are colors that I really like, and also I was working on a specific painting at the time that was using these colors, so I thought I could use these pencils in my painting, which I think I did, if I remember correctly. Let's add some water to the olive. So pretty. Yeah, I like it. I feel like this is a good range to do landscapes, because you can also mix colors. That's why I got kind of the primaries, a yellow, a red, and a blue, even though these are maybe not the classic primary colors that you would choose. I don't think you would choose a greenish yellow as a primary, but I chose the colors that were appealing to me. All right, so that's it. I won't swatch this one because this is gouache in titanium white, so it's white. I don't think we need to see a swatch of it because we won't even see it. So you can imagine it's gouache in the color white. I wanted to try these. So maybe first we can try to remove the duct tape. I put it there a long time ago. A long time ago. So I hope that everything is fine under there. We'll see. Here we have reclaimed one pencil. Let's do this one. I have some ink right here. It is water-soluble ink. So first I'm going to try my newest nib. I got the thinnest shape. So you can do, oh, that's nice. You can do some really thin lines, which is what I was looking for. And if you press more, you can do some thicker lines. But I got this one because it seemed like the thinner nib. Anyway, so this is the newest one. I love it. The brand I think is Pen or Nico. It's made in Japan. And do we have the size? I don't think so. It's really a tiny point. So the one that I had before that was a speedball made by Hunt, Meg and Co. Do we have the size? I don't know, but it's a B6. So I guess it means something. We can see that the lines I get are not as fine as the other one, so that's good. So I got a different one. And if I press harder, I get some thicker lines, but I feel like they're not as thick as this one. And I think that the reason is that this one is a bit more bendable, so you can apply more pressure, and this one is a bit more stiff. you can't get as much variation, I think. They also don't have the same shape at the end of the point. I don't think you can see very well, but this one is pretty straight and this one kind of bends at the end. Don't know if you can see. And this one is straight. A straight point. Anyway, so this is the second type of line. And now we're gonna try this one, which is broken. I don't know if you can see, but there's supposed to be 2 of these things, and there's only one. We'll see if it still works fine or not. Well, yeah, I think it broke. And it's pretty hard to use now, so I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Yep, okay. And we have one last one, which is Speedball again, B0. You can see this one is different from the others. The nib is very big, very round, so it's gonna create a different effect. So you can use it on the side a little bit to create variation, but still I think it's made to create these big shapes, I think. It's not one that I use a lot because, as you can see, you don't get a constant line. And I don't really have a need for big lines like this one. But it's still good to have, I guess. Maybe I used them wrong too. If I do, please tell me. I think that's gonna be it for this week, guys. I think this video is long enough, and also if I don't stop it here, then you won't have a video this week. Yeah, I kind of ran out of time. I'm happy about our progress so far. We finished the painting and I presented to you in a little haul, give you some life updates. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Next week we're going to finish, or at least work a lot more on the painting, but more the framing situation. And yeah, that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, please leave a comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you next week. Bye.